Welcome to Crooked Rose. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to be restoring this thing behind me. Kevin over at Junkyard Digs got her running. You can watch his video. I'll put a link. I don't know how to do that, so I'll put one here, here, here. I don't know. You can watch his video of reviving this thing while it sat for years, and he got it running so good. It's got a big 460 in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on this living part of it. I wasn't originally going to make a video of me restoring this because, quite frankly, I don't know what I'm doing. I've already begun tearing out this front part. That was the bed. And I wish I would have filmed some of that, but I didn't plan on making a video for this until Kevin sent me the link for his video, and I thought it would be a shame not to. When you watch his video, you'll see he talked about there was water damage. Right there is where it started. And what it did was it came through those holes and then just puddled here, and it ran all the way over here. All of these boards were basically rotten. These ones up here, they might look bad, but those are actually fine. Most of them looked like that, and some of them were worse. Right here you can still see the remnants of what was there, and I could actually just pull that out by hand because it just crumbled apart. Looks like the damage stops about here, so I've got to figure out what I want to do there. And I've also got to replace, you can see that's rotted, so I got to replace that, those boards there. And I have no idea how to do that. If you look at this stuff, it looks like it was old barn wood, like it was repurposed. So I think this roof has been redone at one point. But it is cedar. Cedar is naturally weather resistant. That's why they made barns, all the old barns, out of all this cedar. That's what I mean by this looks like barn wood. Because you can see paint and like weathering. And right here is an exposed cedar board, so I can tell what it is. So I'm actually just going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to use old barn wood from my farm and just remake this whole top. These cabinets had an identical set right here. In Kevin's video, I think he did show this hole, and I think he's right where I do think that this has been repaired. You can see it's rotted here, and then there's a new stud ran there, same as the here. So I think that should be good. The insulation looks okay, and there's no rot along these top of these studs on the sides. So I think that'll be alright. So basically what I've been doing is going along and looking for any spots that are bad. Right here, looks like there's some rotting stuff there. And I think inside of this bathroom, there's right here. I gotta tear this out, take a peek at that, see what it looks like behind here and everything. Inside of the here, there's this ceiling. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. So that's basically what I'm focusing on today. Is I'm gonna tear all the interior out basically, and just see what all needs repaired. Right here, every like 5 inches, there's a screw, and I'm gonna actually replace every single screw on this thing. I mean, over here I'll probably reuse all these if they're good, but these actually just sat in that rot and they're rusted off basically. I mean, there's not a lot of thread left to them, so I'm going to replace all of these screws. And then the next step will be to re-silicone these. This is just a piece of trim from the top of the camper, and it's got this putty inside of it, and this is the reason it leaked. Is this is just old and brittle, and it's bad. So I'm going to repair that. I ordered a case of RV sealant, and I should just be able to refill this and then reuse it. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll take RV tape. It's like sealant tape that's rubberized, and I'll run it along the outside. I'll tape these together. So I'll run along the outside and the inside. I'm basically gonna overdo this thing so it never happens again. It's not fun tearing these studs out. This is all the stuff I pulled out of the top. This was right here is the piece that the bed actually sat on, and it's so bad. It's so bad. On the back side of this, there was actually mushrooms growing on it. And those guys slept on it. I bet they didn't even know. So first things first, I want to get this firewood out of the way so that I'm not tripping over it all day long. So let's get at it. I get too in over my head, I'm going to focus on building this back up, and I think I'm going to start from this side since it's in better shape and I have more to do on the other side. I'm going to start over here, pull these nails out, and so what I ended up doing is peeling back the siding here just so I can inspect this stud right here, because I'll have to rebuild that before I do the top. And to be quite honest, it doesn't look too promising. I'm a little frick. That's all rotted on the bottom. Oh, I hope the whole camper's not like this. I'm just going to keep tearing this stuff out and then decide if it's even worth rebuilding. That is a big problem, because the whole bottom of this thing might be rotted. So I can get at the floor now. I got the chair out. I'm going to pull that back and let's see what she looks like. I have a bad feeling that I might be rebuilding an entire camper. Alright, let's just do it. So like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of just tearing stuff apart to just see what makes this thing tick, you know. I figured the bottom was plywood. I wasn't for sure. I mean, to be honest, that seems solid, but I'm going to have to go through. It's warped. The verticals look okay. Oh, you can see it. It's been recarpeted. Look at this. Right there is kind of some orange looking carpet. So I think my plan of action is going to be to take this piece of plywood out. I'm going to replace it right here. Then I'm going to rebuild this stud and just focus on the top. I just wanted to see how back this was bad. The other side, you know what? I'm not even gonna think about it. I don't know. So here you can see, this is actually where the cab of the actual, they basically just mount this, essentially an aluminum wrapped frame, wood frame. They just kind of mount it behind a, a van. And right here is where the cab meets the actual frame of the motorhome. You can actually see daylight through here. And I'm gonna fill that with some expandable foam. Get that sealed up a little better. So right here, where the sheet metal on the top meets the cab on the bottom, there's a piece of weather stripping here. I'm gonna leave that, but I'm gonna build off of it. I'm definitely gonna seal this better with some silicone. I'll run it along the inside, and I'll do the outside. Really make sure this is weather tight. And then this piece here was a stud that ran to here to mount the top frame in. I just went and cut it off where it was rotten, and then I'm just going to replace this section here, and then I could start mounting on top of it. It's kind of a one thing leads to another. So this is finally the first piece to go back into the camper. I got it cut to a curve. It's just gonna fit right there like a puzzle piece. Then I'll go around that with some sealant, and then I think I could start finally building. Maybe. I'm finally making some progress. I got this board on. It took me a little bit to figure out where it was supposed to start and stop. And now I'm going to attach this one, and this will give me a good base for when I'm working over there. And what I'm going to do is, originally this was really hard to take apart because everything was built from the outside. And what I'm going to do is use a jig to attach holes from the top so you can get at them better. I'm going to put some points here, and I'll put like probably 4 points there, and that should more than hold it. Got the sides, the front over here tarped now. This window's still in, so I guess that's the least of my worries. It's supposed to rain in a little bit, so if it does, I think as long as it's protected over here, it'll be okay. Plus, I mean, what's the worst it can do at this point, right?